Hello, everybody. My name is Cody Alexander. I'm the union president for United Steelworkers Local 9548, which represents the members of Canaris Algoma Tubes in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. The date today is March 7th, 2022. We want to do a quick video today on our grievance procedure, just so everybody fully understands what their role is in the procedure and what the union's role and the company's role is, as well as the supervisors and managers that act on behalf of the company. One thing to let everybody know is that whenever you're dealing with the company on any work-related matters or any alleged violations of your collective agreement or employment standards rights, it is always so important to make sure that you carry a notebook with you and that you document the time, the place, the date, who was in the meeting, what was discussed, and what came out of the meeting, what was resolved and what wasn't, just to allow the union a little bit more information when we proceed with the next steps of the grievance, if a grievance is required. So we'll do a quick share screen here just so everybody can see the procedure. As always, you can find our grievance procedure and our collective agreement on our website at usw9548.ca, and it's under Article 3. So we'll just go to the 3.1 and 3.2 here, which just more or less explains the mutual desire of the parties being the union, which is all of you in the membership, as well as the company, and 3.2, which kind of more or less defines what a grievance is in our collective agreement. So 3.1 states, it is a mutual desire of the parties hereto that any complaint or cause for dissatisfaction arising between an employee and the company with respect to the application, interpretation, or alleged violation of this agreement shall be resolved as quickly as possible. 3.2 says, grievance, as used in this agreement, means a complaint or request involving any matter related to working conditions, including any question of interpretation or application of or compliance with the provisions of this agreement, and shall only relate to or concern any grievance which has arisen or arises subsequent to the date of this agreement. So now comes the grievance procedure, and it starts at step 1. Now, step 1 is basically an opportunity for the employee to rectify any issues with his immediate supervisor. Now, at step 1 of the grievance procedure, a union rep is not required to play a role, but we are available in the case that an employee is uncomfortable dealing with these issues individually with the supervisor. You can always request a union rep to come and participate, and we will ensure somebody does come. So 3.3 is step 1. It says, if an employee believes that he has a grievance or complaint, it shall first be discussed by the employee and his immediate supervisor or another appropriate management representative in an attempt to settle the matter. This discussion must be held within 21 scheduled working days of the event or condition related to the grievance or complaint. The employee may be accompanied by a union representative if requested. Within 7 calendar days, the supervisor shall give the employee an answer. The parties wish to ensure that all employees' complaints are dealt with in a reasonable way and that all meetings are held at a time to be mutually agreed upon within the time limits provided. So that's step 1. And as it states, step 1 is just basically inquiring with the supervisor to see if that you guys could rectify it in case there was a mishap or a misunderstanding. That could be easily rectified. And as I said earlier, make sure you are documenting these conversations with your supervisor. Now we move into step 2, and this is where the union becomes more involved and we more or less take control of the grievance. Now, grievances are owned by the union, and the determination of those grievances is operated by our grievance committee and its chairman. Now, step 2 states that if the matter is not resolved to the satisfaction of the employee as a result of such discussion, the union may, within 7 calendar days, deliver a written grievance to the specific production area manager. Such grievance shall name the employee involved, shall state the facts giving rise to the grievance, shall identify the alleged contract violations with appropriate references, shall state the contention of the employee with respect to these provisions, and shall indicate the relief requested. The grievance must be signed by the employee. The specific production manager or his designate shall within 14 calendar days hold a meeting with the employee, the steward, being the union steward, and a representative from human resources in an attempt to settle the matter. The specific production area manager shall then within further 7 calendar days give his response to the union in writing. A written grievance to be processed to the next step shall state the reasons why the previous reply was unsatisfactory and shall be signed by the steward, being a union steward, and a member of the grievance committee. Step 3 goes on to say, If the grievance is not settled within 7 calendar days or longer, or a longer period of time agreed by the parties, and the union wishes to pursue the matter, the grievance must be submitted in writing to the Human Resources Manager and Operations Manager, who in our case is Gianluca Greco, who shall within 14 calendar days hold a meeting with 2 grievance committee representatives and shall give a written response within 10 calendar days from the date of the meeting. At this meeting, a regional representative of the union may be present. A regional representative in our case would be Mark Ayotte, and he is our District 6 staff rep who oversees all the steelworker locals in our area. Now, step 4 continues. If the grievance is not settled within an aforesaid time frame, it may be referred to arbitration within 30 calendar days. Now, that basically summarizes the steps of our grievance procedure. Once the grievance is referred to arbitration, our local union, through the grievance committee and the executive, will prepare and present this arbitration on your behalf. Our union has a very good arbitration team, and we have a lot of wins under our belt. So with that, if you ever have a grievance issue, or you believe you may have a grievance issue, it is best to always inquire with the union rep in your area or contact one of the executive members in order to see if there's anything that we can do through the grievance procedure without. One of the things we do pride ourselves on is being able to settle many workplace issues without having to resort to a grievance. Grievances are always our last resort and our one legal means to ensure that we can enforce our rights on the shop floor. And with that, everybody, we hope that helps to explain a little bit of how the process and the collective agreement works and what your role is as an employee. If you ever need to access your collective agreement, make sure you go to our website at usw9548.ca, where we have every collective agreement posted since the inception in the year 2000. Keep up the good work, stay safe, in solidarity.